My name is Desiree. I'm 42 years old and I'm living with Lambert-Eaton myasthenic syndrome, also known as LEMS. My journey with LEMS has been kind of interesting. Back about 8 years ago, I had some really weird event with my intestines where one day to another they stopped working and I couldn't pass anything, gas or anything. I got really sick, I couldn't eat. And it was really within 48 hours that I sought out a specialist or a doctor and said, okay, something's wrong. I can't use the bathroom and it's affecting my consumption. I can't eat. My gastro said, you need to go home, pack a bag. I'm gonna make a couple calls and you're gonna need emergency surgery. So we went up to San Antonio and we waited 2 or 3 days for the surgeon to get back into town, and then we visited him in the office and he set me up for surgery the next day. He ended up having to remove half my colon because it had kind of stopped working. Meanwhile, we couldn't figure out the pathology, and everything showed that everything was fine. There was no indication of cancer or anything, but they couldn't figure out why it all of a sudden stopped moving. And so we went back into surgery to reverse the ostomy when I had the other half of my bowel still in. This was 8 years ago, so I was in my 30s. And then he said, I don't know how to explain this, but the rest of the bowel went bad. And so we're gonna let you rest again 2-3 months, and then we'll reverse the back. We'll reverse the ostomy back. So then about 12 months later, same thing happened. But this time I only have a small intestine. And so this was quite scary because if my small intestine goes bad, then it's a terminal disease because they cannot start cutting out small intestine. I didn't experience any weakness or anything like this. So there was no way of thinking we had a neuromuscular disease or anything like this. It was all gastrointestinal related, which was kind of interesting. 2 years ago, my grandmother was passing away. She was terminal. Since I'm the nurse of the family, we brought on hospice, and there was tons of pressure on me to make sure that she died with dignity. And everybody was watching and leaning on me to do the right things. And like every day I had to be at the house with giving her morphine and whatever. And so every day we had trouble getting out of bed, and I'm like, what in the world? And it was like a week. She passed away. And then that same morning, the next day, I told my husband, I can't get out of bed. And I tried to grab my coffee cup and I couldn't hold my cup. Then I kind of started to cry, and I'm like, something's seriously wrong. Like, I don't know, but it's never felt this way. And I was numb. I was numb on my feet and my legs, my hands. And the doctor got me in and he was like, you need to go to these big hospitals. So I wrote a letter, a fax cover sheet, and I put my medical records in there. And I played the whole NP card, and I said, I'm an NP, I'm a mother of 4. I don't know that I can go through another catastrophic event because then I feel that it might be terminal. Can you please help me? It might be a matter of saving my life. And they called me like in 2-3 days in Cleveland and said, come on up like tomorrow. So we made arrangements and we flew to Cleveland. And it was a gastro specialist, and he did 30 lab tests, and then they would keep coming in to my portal. And then I started seeing positives, and that's when my Lambert-Eaton, the first marker, came back extremely elevated. And so, sure enough, little by little, they started coming in, and then I had to see a neurologist, did some studies, and got the confirmed diagnosis.